Good day, I am Mr. Cruz together with my colleagues Mr. Cabalejo, Mr. Mahina, and Mr. Perez. Our research title is Assessing Public Trust and Security Concerns in Digital Voting Among the Residents of Maya Alta subdivision in Antipolo City, 2025. Elections are key to democracy. While we have been traditionally using paper ballots, this system has shown problems in like inefficiency and security risk. With the rise of technology, digital voting has become more promising alternative offering speed and convenience. However, digital voting also faces serious challenges, especially in security and public trust. Incidents like system crashes and cyber attacks in other countries show how vulnerable online voting can be. And without trust, even the best systems can fail. In the Philippines, digital voting is not widely explored, especially at the community level. This is why the study focuses on Mayalta subdivision in Antipolo City to understand the residents' views and on trust and security in digital voting. The study aims to answer these main questions. What are the demographic profiles of the respondents? What is their level of trust in digital voting? What are their security concerns? And do demographic factors affect their trust or concerns? The study tests two null hypotheses. There is no significant relationship between demographics and trust in digital voting, and there is no significant relationship between demographics and security concerns.
So before we move into the methods and our research, we would like to take note that our study limits only to the respondents' trust levels, concerns to the voting system's security, and how their background could affect their viewpoint. It doesn't go into further detail regarding the technical aspects of digital voting systems. So for the methodology, we utilize a quantitative descriptive design as it allows for describing the trust level and the nature of the residents' concerns regarding the system's security. We then made use of a pen and paper survey to gather the information efficiently with the large population of the respondents. The study was conducted in Maya Alta subdivision in Antipolo City with respondents ranging from professionals, students, and senior citizens. The location was chosen due to the growing population of digitally literate citizens eligible for voting who are also susceptible to future changes in the voting system. The respondents range from ages 18 and above, who are registered voters and have at least the basic knowledge in using the digital devices like smartphones or computers. A structured survey served as the main research instrument, which was divided into three sections. First, the demographic profile of the respondent. Second are the trust-related questions. And third are the security-related questions. We then requested a one-week period for the subdivision to conduct the survey, which was then later approved. Afterwards, we then proceeded to distribute the questionnaires to the random residents we encountered. Lastly, for the statistical design, we first used descriptive analysis for describing the demographic data and responses. Below is the calculation of the percentages, where it is equal to the frequency divided by the total respondents multiplied by 100. The other statistical design is the chi-square test to check for potential relationships between the demographic factors and other key variables like trust and security concerns. Below, it can be seen that the chi-square value is equal to the summation of the squared difference of the observed frequency and expected frequency all over the expected frequency. It was then chosen since our data mostly involve categorical data variables, like in the levels of trust, it ranges from whether they trust it, somewhat trust it, or do not trust it. We then utilize a website for calculating the z-score value as well as the p-value. It is worth noting that we combined some values in the z-square as the result was too broad if left separated. An example is that we combined the age groups of 18 and to 25 as well as 26 to 35 as the category younger adult while the remaining categorizes as the older adults so that there will be a sufficient number of respondents in the testing. This was to ensure that the frequency wouldn't be low in the z-score test. And lastly, for the p-value, if it was below 0.05, the variables can be said to have a relationship. And if it's above 0.05, then it does not have a relationship.
So now we discuss the presentation and analysis of the results we gathered in the study. Let us start with the demographic profile. We gathered responses from a diverse group of residents in terms of age, gender, educational background, digital literacy level, and their voting experience. For age, the age distribution was quite even, with the highest number of respondents coming from the 26 to 35 and 46 to 60 age group, and they both make 22% of the sample. In terms of gender, the majority were female, accounting for 55%, while 43.3% were male and one respondent did not prefer their gender. When it comes to education, nearly half of the respondents are college graduates, which suggests a relatively educated sample. As for digital literacy, most respondents rated themselves as moderate to high, but only a small group reported having a very low digital literacy level. Lastly, half of the respondents have voted manually before. And interestingly, none of the respondents have tried digital voting only. 80% have experienced both manual and automated versions of voting. And this shows that some residents are already familiar with newer voting technologies, even if digital voting hasn't been implemented fully. Now we move to public trust. The results show that most respondents have a generally positive view of digital voting. About 18 respondents said they trust the system. An even larger portion, which is 23 respondents, somewhat trust digital voting. This indicates most people seem to be open to the idea but still have a few doubts. On the other hand, only 14 of the respondents said they do not trust this kind of voting method, while the remaining 5 sure. When it comes to security concerns, the top issue raised by over half of the respondents was the risk of hacking. This shows that many residents worry about cyber attacks that could alter results or steal their personal information. Concerns included privacy issues and identity theft. These concerns highlight how important it is to not only secure the system but also to communicate clearly how these risks will be addressed to build public confidence. To see if there were connection between respondents' profile and their views on digital voting, we use a chi-square test of independence. A result is considered statistically significant if the p-value is less than 0.05, meaning there's likely a real relationship between the variables. As shown in the table, age, educational attainment, digital literacy level, and voting experience all have significant relationship with trust in digital voting. This means that these factors may influence how much a person trusts the system. For security concerns, only age and digital literacy level show significant relationships, meaning certain groups are more concerned about risk like hacking or data misuse. Meanwhile, gender showed no significant association with either trust or security concerns. And just to clarify, what I'm presenting here is a summary of the significant findings. All specific values, including the chi-square and p-values, are clearly shown starting on page 37 of our research paper.
Proceeding to the summary conclusion and recommendations. For the summary, we conducted a quantitative survey with 60 residents of Maya Alta subdivision with the focus of trust and security concerns in digital voting systems. The collected data on demographics, public trust, and security concerns used chi-square tests to examine the relationship between variables. For the conclusion, while many residents showed open-mindedness to digital voting, full trust remains limited, with only 30% fully trusted digital voting and over 53% cited hacking as their top concern. We found that age, educational attainment, digital literacy, and voting experience significantly influence trust. Younger, more educated, and digitally literate individuals tend to be more cautious, possibly because they better understand the risks. Interestingly, those with lower digital skills trusted digital voting more, likely due to less awareness of potential vulnerabilities. As for security concerns, only age and digital literacy showed significant influence. Younger adults were more focused on user-centric risks like identity theft and privacy, while older adults were more concerned with system-level threats such as hacking. Therefore, we reject the null hypothesis for trust demographics do affect it, but accept the null hypothesis for security concerns, since only two demographic factors had a significant effect. For the recommendations, based on the findings, we offer the following recommendations. For the government, we recommend to launch digital literacy campaigns, especially targeting older adults, design accessible and easy to use digital voting interfaces with clear language and multi language options, and to be more transparent about the system security protocols to build public trust. For the COMELEC, we recommend to roll out digital voting gradually alongside manual options to allow a smoother transition and actively collect public feedback to improve system reliability and public confidence. For schools and NGOs, we recommend to integrate digital citizenship and cybersecurity awareness into high school and college curricula and conduct workshops and seminars about secure digital voting practices. And finally, for future researchers, we recommend to conduct similar studies in other regions with larger sample sizes to compare trust and concern levels across different Filipino communities.
Thank you. Mabuhay, and I
You and
hope you
Mabuhay.
enjoyed our presentation.